Hey,
So
Joe and Matt here, talking about some Guns N' Roses, a topic we have not covered on this channel yet. I still haven't uploaded our Aussie album review, so this is Matt.
hi
I,
again. If you
I've
have
been
not
putting
seen
it
it,
off. We did record another video, but I haven't uploaded it because I'm lazy as shit. This one I should upload like very soon because a new Guns N' Roses single just came out, so it's relevant. So I'm gonna make sure to jump on that. But yeah, so what we're gonna do here is kind of talk about the last couple of years of Guns N' Roses in terms of the recording studio, um, where we started with Absurd, then we got Hard School, perhaps, and we just got the general, what we think of the songs and where we want
well,
them to go from here, where we think they're gonna go from here, and maybe a little insight on what the hell they're doing, because I know you probably know a lot more than I do, or think you know, because you every single year, this is the year they're gonna drop the album. And here we are with whatever the fuck we got. But I think
single after single, I guess let's review it.
the best way to start this is with Absurd, which I think we have a very unique take on Absurd as we were sitting in, or I'll tell it from my point of view. Me and Matt went to the same Guns N' Roses concert. We weren't sitting together, but we were at the same concert, and they played Absurd
They debuted
and
it.
didn't like really say anything about it. And me and Connor, if you know Connor from the channel, we looked at each other. We're like, "What the hell, shitty ass cover is this?" And
We were like, "What the hell is this?" Yeah,
Axel was like, "I hope you like the new song," and we're all like, "No." And then we got in the car, and I was like, "Matt, what do you think about the song?" You're like, "Oh, I think about it." And Kyle was like, "That shit sucks." And then
well, here's
as I was pulling into my driveway that night, it dropped, and I sat in the driveway and listened to it and was laughing my
did it
ass
drop
off.
that night?
It did drop that night. I'm 90% sure it dropped that
I
night.
thought it dropped the next
It,
night, but
I was about to say, if not, it was like a night later or some BS.
yeah.
But I cannot believe they are still playing this song. It is horrible. Axl's vocals. I listened to it today. I don't really mind Slash going hard on it. Like there are like as much as it pains me to say, there are aspects of the song I like. The really quiet breakdown that has absolutely nothing in it is so stupid and just needs to be removed, as do Axl's vocals, because Axl sounds like a giant pile of garbage. Great start. We're off to a great start. But I like Slash's work on it. And I mean that goes without saying. How can Slash
Yeah.
never really F's
Well,
up? So
honestly, yeah, he did sound good, but honestly, in my opinion, I thought he held back quite a bit with this material. Actually, all the material
hmm,
now I think about it, like he's kind
I,
of not really like going how he normally would. I think he's just kind of dumbing it down for just this type of stuff. And that's fine. I don't really mind. It's still him and it still sounds good, so that's
mm,
all that matters.
right.
But yeah, when I first heard it, I was really confused. I was just like, what the hell's happening? Like, and when they said that there was a new like it was a new song, I was like, oh.
Right.
um, but
It,
but
it
then I was
mixed
just like,
feelings.
hold on. Like it kind of just blew like a fart in the wind, like they didn't build it up or anything.
It
Um,
sucks.
so I was kind of like, okay, I can't really give or say anything until they like, because I'm gonna be honest, I I was just like hyping it up a little bit just because like I wanted to give it a chance. You really can't tell a song till you hear it, their studio version, and then hear the live version. But they just did it
Mhm.
live, and you didn't hear it with studio. So I was just kind of like it. In all honesty, I didn't like. I was scared I wasn't gonna like it because I already didn't like it
Right.
when I first heard it. So I was just kind of like, yeah, let's give it a chance. I didn't really hear like the studio version. Then the studio version came out, and I hate. I'll start with the things I liked about it. I like
Thought I
the
heard you say I hate. Did you say I hate? Was that the first thing you
no,
said?
no. I was gonna start
That's
with things
my
I hate.
first
I
thought when
shouldn't
I think
do.
of absurd.
I shouldn't do that. So with the things I like, obviously Slash and like the actual riff, like when it comes in,
Hmm.
uh despite that techno shit, like how it came in, how it kept going, like I love that groove. Like I could really headbang to that shit. um
Yes.
and yeah, like everything Slash does, like the solos and all that, like I don't think Axel's vocals were all horrible. I just thought it was stupid they kept replaying the same over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but
And
they kept replaying the
and
same like the whole song was just, and then the repeats on the lyrics, which by the way were horrible, were all listen, motherfucker, to a song that should be heard. Like he did the same part like 3 times. It's awful.
yeah, I mean, it was at first I was like, okay, it's pretty nasty, but GNR doesn't give a
Yeah.
fuck. I get it. But then like they repeated it and I'm like, okay, change it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll start with the things I didn't like that. The middle, or sorry, the breakdown, like you said, it just like there was no build up, no like slow down. It was just like randomly like placed there. Like there was no fade on it whatsoever.
I
Um,
forgot that part of the song existed until today because every other time I've listened to it was out of irony and I wouldn't listen that far in.
I honestly agree because I do the same.
It
Not
sucks.
not an irony, just like if it comes on, like I'll listen to the group part, and then when that part comes on, I'll shut it off specifically.
Yeah, and now that you mention it, like it has become apparent to me, like his like 15-second solo not only is just like a pentatonic scale, but it just reminds me so much of literally just reminds me so much of like the opening of the Estranged solo, and then he just cuts it like now, 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 now. Then it goes like it's like I we've heard and you're right. Like I don't like I think his solo on Hard School, which we'll get to, was a pretty lengthy solo. The one on Perhaps, I'm pretty sure was just like a piano, maybe a little guitar in there. But in we'll talk about the gen. But like, yeah, no, you're right. When I said I like Slash's part, I guess I meant exactly what you meant, where I could headbang to the riff a little bit, but that's about where it ends. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You're right. He is holding back, and it's probably
not even
because
just in this song, but in a
stupid
lot of
DJ
these
Ashtray
singles.
and KFC Buckethead couldn't write a friggin' Slash riff if they wanted to. And I'm pretty sure they wrote these songs, right?
No, so they were just hired guns for GNR. Well, Buckethead maybe, but like
Right.
as far as I know, DJ Ashba was just a hired gun for Guns N' Roses. No pun intended.
Done.
But yeah. Um, but I think it was just a bunch of studio musicians and like big people he got to come in to write some of the stuff. And by the way, that song used to be fun fact, Absurd used to be called Silkworms, and it was supposed to
Yep.
be on Chinese Democracy, and it was supposed to be way lengthier, especially with that breakdown part, more so than it was. So what we got, in my opinion, is a million times better than what we were gonna get. Not that we had a lot to
Right.
work with, but
Yeah, no.
it's just, and that's the problem with a lot of these singles, is that like they're just redoing Chinese stuff, and that's, in my opinion,
Mhm.
probably Axel's opinion, like what he wants to do, because he technically owns the name and owns the rights, so he can say and do whatever he wants, and they'll just be like, okay, let's do it.
Did Axel like Chinese? Like, is he known for being a Chinese lover?
I'm sure he is because he keeps fucking playing it.
That's fair. Yeah, no,
I mean, don't
dude,
get me wrong.
I think
There's some good songs on Chinese Democracy, but I wouldn't
some
say
eh
they're GN.
songs.
I wouldn't say they're GNR songs, just
Yeah,
because
fair.
like it's a totally different direction. You get Axel's voice, but it's almost like Axel's solo album.
Yes,
You
fair. Yeah, that's a good concept. Um, but yeah, all right, let's get into Hard School. I think Hard School, I'd say it's like the most classic Guns N' Roses song. It's glad I don't have any problem with Hard School. I've never really like been attached to it, but like if you're like a classic rock fan or just a classic Guns N' Roses fan, like I have no problem with someone being like, "Oh, I really dig Hard School." I listened to it for the first. It was just kind of there for me. I listened to it for
yeah.
the first time in like a year today, and I was like, yeah, it's not bad at all. But
I mean, like those vocals,
it's
yeah,
got kind of
sorry.
grunge to it, you know. What were you gonna
Yeah, I
say?
mean, like those vocals they say for Axel, like and I'm sure he's not like really doing a lot of these in the studio,
Yeah,
um, because they already have the tracks. But like for this one, especially like when he still had his voice, you can hear it and it's there. And that's what's really cool about this one, is that you can still hear the essence of like what it would be. Plus, bringing the old band back into it, it starting to sound
Mhm.
like, okay, this is a classic GNR track. It's
Yeah.
more of like you said, kind of a throwaway track they'd put in, but it's still like good enough to listen to and be like, yeah, it's capturing the essence, and like could I wouldn't hate it if it came on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't tell someone to shut it off. It does sound like one of those songs where it's like we're getting the band back together, and they put out something. I don't want to say underwhelming, but I guess it is underwhelming. But like, yeah, like they just put out a good classic. It kind of sounds like GNR going through the motions, which isn't a bad thing because GNR
A
is
little
one of
bit.
my favorite bands, obviously. So them going through the motions will make me smile. It's just it's nothing that like I would go out of my way to put on or brag home about.
Oh, you there? All right.
Yeah, did I hope that what I said, did you hear me?
No, not the last bit.
I said Guns N' Roses is one of my favorite bands. Sounds like they're going through the motions. Going through the motions for Guns N' Roses isn't bad for me since I like the band. It's just nothing I'd go out of my way to put on or brag home about or something.
Right.
Maybe one of these days it'll end up like on one of my playlists or something, but for now it's like, just another Guns
Yeah.
N' Roses song,
But
which coming after Absurd is great. Because
it's a
Absurd was
yeah,
so
well,
bad.
after Absurd, that's why I loved it so much, because it was just like they set the bar low, and then they wasn't expecting much
Yes.
after, and then it over expected my or over preceded my expectations. But and I know we said it's kind of a throwaway, and it is kind of just like there, and it is a good solid song, but like even GNR's throwaway songs, in my opinions,
Mhm.
besides some others, like were like,
Ah.
yeah, we're I think even the throwaway songs were always like interesting to me. Like even if you
I mean,
didn't
you're a
like it,
huge
you can
fan. I
always
mean, of
find
course.
something in it, you know? Um,
Yeah, like I saw like Shotgun Blues is one of those songs, or like The Garden or stuff like that.
right.
Even
Did you
Perfect
know that that's
Crime.
Alice Cooper on that track?
What? Which one?
The Garden.
Is that him singing?
Yeah, in the
Backing vocals? Oh, the
do my worst phobia, a crazy
really?
and
I did not know
utopia.
that. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's shut the hell up about The Garden.
All right.
So I do think that Slash, like the band's best performance was on Hard School because they really got to, be their old selves. However, I think we both agree that the best track.
Is perhaps.
Hold on, hold on.
Oh, uh-oh, what happened?
I got football on, and hold on. Please tell me. Oh, that Waddle.
Dude.
That's still, the best song is Perhaps. And do you
Holy
agree?
yes, yeah.
Okay, thank God. It's it's classic Guns N' Roses in a whole different light. It's like what class. It's like I feel like that's what Guns N' Roses did differently than the other classic rock bands. Axl on the keys and the like,
Yeah.
all that shit's so fun to make fun of. But I do go out of my way to put on
It
Perhaps. I love that
I do
song.
too. I do too. Like that for by far the best one, because like it reminds me of something I would hear off of Use Your Illusion 2. Like
Yes.
100%. And that's what like that was probably the only song I really got like chills listening to, just like hearing it. Even though Axl isn't like always 100% there in the song, it's still
Mhm.
got the energy that we were looking for, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I don't really hear. I mean, I wouldn't brag home about his vocals in that song, but I don't think I'd go out of my way and say like he wasn't 100% there. Like there's no point of the song where I'm like old fat Axel.
No, no,
But
no, no, not at all. I mean, like, just okay. I mean that by like in the chorus where he starts getting higher, like it's not obviously it's not gonna be like raspy old school Axel. Like he's still how he is now, I guess, but it's still like the energy's there. Like he's obviously hitting the notes, which is a good thing. Um, but like as a whole song though, and how it's like put together, it's just what we were looking for, in my opinion.
yeah, no, I think it's definitely the best put together. Like it's like I said, it's my favorite. It's the best put together song. It's like it's repetitive, but not in a way that bothers me. The
No, yeah,
chorus is great. The verses, I think we both agreed that, like, we wish that, like, maybe they cut down on the verses a little bit and extended the intro, 'cause it's like a 5-second musical intro,
Yeah, I
and then it
mean,
goes
but
right
that's
into,
also it.
"Perhaps I was wrong," and it's like,
But
you could have
that
done
could
more.
also be like you could also say that's nitpicking, but whatever.
Yeah, no, and I feel like the fact that we have to nitpick should just tell you, like, how good we think this song is.
Yeah.
Um, but I need to hear you nitpick in a positive light about this next friggin' song.
All
So
right.
we're on the
So
last song here.
and then like we were on such a high bar, and perhaps I'm like, it's only gonna get better than here. And then we
Hopefully.
got the general, which came
Which,
out
by the way, was teased so much, teased way more than the other songs.
right
Maybe
during
except
perhaps
for
actually.
what?
Like when perhaps came out, it was being teased on a vinyl, like a single vinyl, and it was on the other side of perhaps saying like, oh, you
Yeah.
can pre-order and get it. So okay, I'll start by saying that like before we go off on this song, because it's definitely the most hated, like we'll say by me and him. Um, and we've only listened to like a few times, like, but I'll say
That's all we
like
need.
right away, the only thing that like got my attention was like the beginning where Slash is actually following the melody of the lick, and he's doing it with Wah, and it's like very prominent. And
Mhm.
in my opinion, that's the coolest part because that sounds like, again, sounds like classic GNR. Sounds like something he would do. Sounds like they're putting in and they're building up to something. But
Hmm.
that's what do you have to say?
I think the beginning of it just sounded gross. I think
Yeah,
gross is the way they tried to use so many different effects in the beginning, and it's like I also believe they were building up to something, but like I didn't think that I don't know if you thought like you're like, okay, this buildup is okay, like let's see where they go with it though.
yeah.
I was like, this buildup is fucking disgusting. Like
So what did you
they're
find
gonna
good
need something to
about?
save it.
What did you find
What?
good about the song though? Like something.
Nothing.
Okay,
Absolutely
and
nothing.
that's where I all right, fine. But that's where I get into my point. Then it's just like it didn't build up to anything. Even the chorus, it was just like sludging through the fucking mud.
It was such a sludge, dude. And like, I don't like people that are like, no, the song is all from top to bottom horrible, nothing about. Dude, I swear to God, I don't like anything about this song. I think it is horrible. I think it competes with My World.
It I yeah,
Like,
honestly, I mean,
no lie.
it's right. I would say just because there's actual music in it, at least I would say it's only by a smidge above my world.
Yeah, see, and
Oh,
that's
a
how
little
you
bit.
know it's horrible. I have no redeeming qualities about it. It's as bad as My World, which we joke about all the time. Like,
It is really like
Jesus,
bad
man,
song.
it's just it's the worst, and I don't like it. And
I was
honestly,
like
it
really trying to hold on and give it hope. And I sat there with someone I like a friend and they were like sitting there with me and I was just like excited for it and like it's just more cringe and disgust on my face and I turned to them and they're just like same
well,
face.
you got my text right before you listened to it. I was like, they need to they need to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like, this is so disgusting. This is disgusting. They can't be doing this. And and I'll give you proof that it's all actual. I don't know if you know this because I literally learned this yesterday. But Duff McKagan, did you know he put out an album?
Did he?
This shit is so good. I listened to this shit today. This is a freaking fire album. I 100% recommend it. The name of it is Lighthouse. It is
Lighthouse.
it is wonderful. I think this is a great album. A lot of it's just acoustic, or a lot of it's like ballady type stuff, like
Okay.
soft rock. They do have some hard rock songs in it. Slash is featured on one of the songs. Um, but and obviously Slash's work with Miles, like obviously, it's
Yeah.
all Axel. It's just and I'll tell you what, at this point, Matt, I don't want a Guns N' Roses album. Because here's the thing. I know,
Yeah.
look, I understand all this stuff is from Chinese, but you know what that tells me is it tells me that they've got nothing else. They've been reunited for over 8 years now, and they've got nothing else that they've been working on. So no, I do not want a Guns N' Roses album because not only would it be forced, but it could arguably be worse than maybe not the general, but worse than what we've gotten so far.
Well, maybe they're just lowering the bar again so they could put out something great. I don't know. But
I
it
mean,
just shouldn't be like that, though, in my opinion. But and I get it. I if they put out an album, yeah, I mean, I'll listen to it. I don't think it's gonna be gem after gem, especially if they put these singles in them. But so I know that they have been working on it. So I mean, you kidding me? Duff writes great songs, Slash writes great songs, and I know
yeah,
Frank and them are great. But it's again, in the end of the day, it's all Axl's decision. Oh, my vocals are already pre-recorded. No one will say their shit because it's from when I was younger and all that.
yeah.
And it's just like, dude, like I know the band can write good songs. They still can, and I know they can. But sometimes you just can't save it, like especially if it's all one like direction. Like you can tell right away like these songs where they came from, not all of them, but like especially the general and absurd, where they came from and what they were originally for.
Mhm. I just I just don't think that they can be saved at this point. Like they've like the fact that they've done this over the course of 2 years and we're 8 years into the reunion is like they've done nothing other than this shit, you know?
Been
Like
that
they've
long, jeez.
have they been writing their own stuff and they're just waiting to put it out? Then why are they putting out all this democracy stuff? They're putting out the
Uh,
democracy stuff because that's all they have right now. Maybe they have like inklings of other stuff, but they don't actually like have like an album or like a concept for an album. They might have a song here, a song there, but they have nothing concrete. And I feel like if they were to try to make something concrete, they would just be forcing it. It would be ugly and it will be Axel led. This is just how Axel works.
well,
Slash and Duff
just remember,
clearly
like,
do Slash and Duff clearly go off on their own and expand in their own different territories with their creative outlets, right? Slash likes to do it with Miles. Duff likes to do it in his solo, whatever
yeah,
solo album that is. They do not care anymore, it seems, about contributing to a Guns N' Roses album.
right. They do kind of seem in the motions, or at least like in the songs. But what I'm saying is that like in the end of the at the end of the day, it's all always down to what Axel wants and what Axel says goes. You know, so like if they did write something in like Axel's like self-conscious, he's like, no, I want the old stuff because it's got already tracks written just right around it, and we'll cut and clip my vocals that are already pre-recorded onto it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm saying, and you can tell like it's. I don't think that's what they want to do. You know,
Well, it's absolutely like I think anyone will say that Axel is the worst like option of those three where it's like, I well, like one of them is in charge and gets the final say all the time.
yeah.
I think anyone would always rather it be
I
either
mean,
Slash or Duff.
you hear it from the source, like, and honestly, I think they may have gotten in trouble for it, like because Slash and his girlfriend they put out like, oh yeah, an album's coming soon, it's being worked on and all that, and I
Are they?
honestly, yeah, they have said that, and
I didn't
like
know.
this past year, Slash was saying
Oh,
that
oh, about Guns N' Roses. I thought you meant like Slash with his girlfriend. Never mind. Continue.
no, no, no,
I
no,
was like, what?
but the, yeah, they're making an album called Rocket the Queen Part Two.
They're making an album called Yoko Ono Part Two. Right.
Because
I mean,
I mean, who knows? Like
yeah, but how many times over
PR
the
and
past 8 years have you heard something about an album coming for Guns N' Roses? So many
no,
times. It's like GTA 6, except GTA 6 actually happening somehow.
no, but well, before that, it was just rumors. You know, it was just people saying, yeah, they might be doing something. And the one time they actually said like anything was in, I think 2017 or 2018. Duff and Axel were doing an interview, and they said, yeah, we're writing stuff. Like we've been writing together, see, like just ticking around with stuff. That's how the whole concept came about. And again, it was just rumors, and then like I said, Slash said something that's saying, yeah, they're working on an album, and he said it a couple times, and then all of a sudden, it's just been like dark, quiet, and those things that have been said, I think, have been taken away, even after her Slash's girlfriend posted, Megan, like she posted something about it, and it also got taken down because she got in trouble for it as well. I think she's
Right.
gotten in trouble on multiple occasions for talking about shit she shouldn't be, and which is not good for PR, purposes or whatever. So, and again, it's up to the PR team and it's up to Axl ultimately. And really, like Slash and Duff and the rest of the guys are just guns for hire back in the band of their own band.
Unfortunately, yeah, that sucks. That
Yeah.
sucks that I mean you're I want to say like that sucks that you see it like that, but I know you're right. So I guess I should say it sucks that it is that way. Um, what do
Yeah.
you think about this? Do you think is there
They
any
just get a
shot
higher
that like
percentage now, but anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
do you think that there's a shot that like they were working on a new album and Axl was like pushing the Chinese stuff and all these complications happening where it's like you shouldn't have said that, and then that's when Duff was like, "Fuck it, I'll make my own album." Made Lighthouse and Slash. Maybe he took some of the content that he had and put it on Four because Four, I feel like Four, which is by the way album by Slash and Miles Kennedy, was a lot. I don't want to say a lot more Guns N' Roses esque because it really wasn't, but it was definitely more Guns N' Roses esque than the other albums by Slash and Miles. So I think I could definitely see that. The
You
fact
think
that
so?
Slash and Duff dropped their own solo projects in the last year,
I mean, I don't think they
that could be
say
Guns N' Roses scraps.
I don't think they say fuck it, or they'd be waiting to do their own stuff and
Mhm.
putting on pause because of the album. Because I mean, let's be honest, like Slash literally writes like 1,500 different things a tour and just like saves it on his phone and like decides what to use on what, you know.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So
So
like he
maybe
always
just
likes.
Duff. Maybe just Duff in that case, because I know Slash does write a
Oh, because
million
Duff
things on
released
tour.
something else. Like Duff released something else while they were on tour, I think, too, in the past 8 years. Like he
Damn, I did
hasn't
not
really
let me
been
check.
waiting. Like they just kind of do their own thing on the side, just either for fun or just for the pass the time.
Well, Matt, you see, what you're supposed to do is agree with me, so then it looks like there's a conspiracy happening, and then we get a lot of views, but you just kind of turned it on his ass. Yeah, that's actually not Duff's first album, but I don't know. I really do like this one. I guess I got to listen to more of his albums because
Yeah, he's got some good
that was a
stuff.
banger. I heard like a snippet, because he posted on Instagram like a snippet of one of his songs. It's like,
Yeah.
go check out the album, and I was like, I think this sounds like a song I'd like. Like, I wonder if there's more on this
Me
album.
tell
And then I
you
listened and I was
wanna
like,
play,
"Oh, this is a good album."
and I sit here on my couch.
I don't know what song that's supposed to be.
And it's not a song. I was just it's just his style. He's punk, you know.
I'm fighting with Axl. He's being such a douchebag about dropping this album.
I sang about attitude and now I'm doing
We made one
covers.
called December Snow.
Well, even though that was an attitude, it's Misfits, but never mind. Oh god. All right. Well, anyway,
An October Train. Yeah, I think we're done here. Overall, I'll of course listen to a
I guess
Guns
it's
N'
been
Roses
pretty
album.
much, when you think about it, it's been 50-50, I guess.
Yeah, like I'll listen to it, but my expectations will be low, which I guess is a good thing, but that's the only positive you can take away from what's happened. That and Perhaps, because I do love Perhaps.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We have more content coming. We just dropped 3 quick ones here before the next NFL podcast. So good for us, good for me. But we do have other stuff on the back burner that I put on the back burner so we could do the gun stuff, the Green Day stuff, and all the recent GTA stuff. But yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.